biggest thing is family. You know, all of this, me, my dad, my mom, my co-rider, which is my dad's girlfriend, my friends, everybody that comes out to dedicate time away from their work to come out and help me is, you know, that's huge for me and my team. Dedicated, motivated, do it wholeheartedly for 17 years. It's definitely been the best experience of my life, definitely. When I was probably 9, 10, I remember I was playing Pop Warner football at the time as I was doing racing. I remember I'd have to go to the short course track and I'd have to get all my stuff set up, get everything ready to go, be with all my buddies, and then, okay, we gotta leave, we gotta go to a football game, and then we gotta miss qualifying, then we gotta come back here and start from the back and work our way up to the front and win the race. So that was always the hard thing, is having to leave the races and go to my football game and then come back. So I think it really opened my eyes on what I wanted to do and what kept me driven, and what did I want to stick to football, did I want to stick to racing? I was given the opportunity to do both, but it was getting to a point where it was like, you know, we gotta choose one here. Racing just drew my attention more than anything. Racing's been in my dad's blood since he was born, you know, he was brought up into it. And I just love the whole scenario and the idea of racing and the competitiveness, and it's a different drive and a different feeling, I feel like, than a lot of other things.
I couldn't ask for anything more. You know, I love the sport. I have a lot of passion for the sport, owning a business and doing all this stuff that I've done. I've been fortunate enough through all the years. I started back in '85 with my brother and got to race a lot of the races that will never be here anymore. The Met 400 for us was huge for years and years and years. We did it in Class 1 cars and Class 10 cars and all that. With Conner, there's a whole new level of excitement, you know, to have him have the drive to do off-road racing and be respectful to other people, and understand being respectful gives you the confidence and all that kind of stuff, and everything falls in line after that.
A lot of people ask me this, like, you know, how did you get to this point? How do you corner like that? How do you do this and that? And I'm like, you know, honestly, short course has groomed me to the driver that I am today. You know, you ask Rob McCackern, you ask all the kids that I race with, you know, short course has embedded us with such a special talent. And then you move that over to desert racing, and I just feel like that's kind of what has brought me up to the level that I am now. I think we took the right stepping stones and not just say, yeah, let's just jump into this and jump into that and just try and do good, you know. It definitely takes time and dedication and a lot of seat time. Seat time is key to anything. The stepping stone that we took and me and my dad chose to decide to take has definitely grooved me into an even better driver.
So the history with BF Goodrich tires for us, there were a couple different options, you know, the Mickey Thompsons and the Yokohamas and that kind of stuff back in the 80s and 90s. We tried a few different ones, but BF Goodrich always had the support and the quality tire. I think we dealt with Frank D'Angelo back in those days, and we talked a lot with him. We had a Class 1 car back then that we ran. Developing that tire, they came to us and say, hey, you know, what would make our tire better? You know, what do you think? I mean, and that's hard to get from a tire manufacturer, from pretty much anybody.
Well, our family business here is basically transaxle work is one of our hits here that my dad's done for a long time. Race car prep, a lot of sand car prep, fab, obviously welding, suspension work. Anything that a race car consumes, we pretty much do. To be able to work with my dad every day and have a good relationship enough to be able to work with each other and all that, there's a lot of people out there that say, you know, man, it's super cool, and you're really lucky to be able to work with your dad and be good, you know, with each other on a work basis. He's taught me a lot of knowledge to put into my race program, to be able to know everything that I need to know in case something happens or it breaks. You know, I know how to fix it, I know what to do. So it's a blessing to be able to be here, you know, every day and be a part of the off-road community and learn about race cars, learn about how the mechanics of it work, and, you know, just get as much knowledge as I can so that one day when he's done, then I can take that spot up and be as good as he is.
Having my son being a part of this business and racing and that kind of stuff is beyond special. I don't know, I haven't won the lottery. I would say it's better than winning the lottery.
Me and my dad try and do everything that we can, go out testing with customers. Everybody loves coming here because they're like, man, you guys do the right job, treat my stuff right, you work on it like it's your own, and when we go out, we don't have to worry about things breaking. You guys are on top of your game, you guys do a good job. It's good hearing that reassurance to know, hey, we're doing something right here. Everything's a family thing, so all of our customers we treat as family. They love coming here and socializing with us, talking to us, and every time we talk to them, they learn something like, man, I didn't know that. Trying to feed them as much knowledge as they can so that if they go out and something happens, they know how to fix it. In a lot of shops, they kind of keep it to themselves, and we're out, outgoing enough to be able to say that and want to elaborate and show them how the workings of the car are. Moving up to the spec truck class was definitely intimidating. There's a lot of competition in 6100. The spec truck class is no slack. So, even though it's a limited class, it's just like class 10. It's hardcore, race to the finish, 110%, every single corner, no room for mistakes, and gotta be perfect or there goes a second, there goes half a second. I mean, now races come down to 0.2 of a second. It's so, everybody's so close, and it's just a whole nother world being able to transition from a buggy to a truck. There's 6,000 pound mass versus a good car, 4,300 pound buggy. It's so different.
So Conner was doing great, right? He's racing simulation class 10, 6200, and all these different things, just killing it. After we reached out to Conner and started chatting with him, really just kind of put together that we're going to try this out. Conner's a ton of talent. I think we can work with him to apply what he's already done in a buggy and just go jump right into trucks. I mean, we just got 2 championships in a row. I think we've accomplished that.
Conner is a kid that has consistently done well. We do look for somebody in a truck or a car. It's someone that there's a lot of different things we look for as far as the value. Obviously, they have to be fast, no questions asked. They got to be up front, winning races. Another huge part of it is having a good attitude, and Conner is a super positive, upbeat person that has good things to say about people and does well in a truck and gives good feedback.
Away from doing good, I knew this year, I'm like, man, this is going to be a huge stepping stone. I've got a lot to learn. I'm a newbie in this class, so I got to figure out the drive of this class and just a whole nother circumstances of things to learn. Obviously, there's setups for different drivers, so I had to figure out my setup and what I needed, and I just didn't know that because I haven't raced a truck before. I worked a lot with Brett King from King Shocks, and he's stepped up a lot and helped us out, and same with Brenthel's, and got Kyle Jerkenson's input, got a lot of people's different input to be able to give us the setup that we need. The brothers are dedicated. They're always wanting to do better. The team, they're no slack. They hustle everywhere. Nobody walks anywhere. Everybody runs everywhere. So it's pretty cool to see the dedication towards the sport. Truck's been perfect all year. Mechanics have been perfect all year. Team's been perfect all year. And we've done really, really good for our first year and came home with 2 championships in 6100, Best in Desert and Legacy. The Mint 400 is, I would say, one of the toughest races to do, and even as a driver, you gotta stay there 110% the whole entire time. You can't give up. You gotta be perfect because it's a 400-mile sprint. It's not like 1,000 miles where, we're time and time splits and your pace is a lot more down. You still gotta have a strong pace. It's game on the entire time. The terrain, especially at the Mint, as we all know, the terrain is unbelievable there. You can get good days and bad days. Even like the storms that just hit that valley where the Mint is, there's rocks everywhere. You got to have tires that are going to last. So that's why all of our equipment, all of our chase trucks, all of our race cars, we run BF Goodrich tires. Tires are, I think, the #1 thing to success.
BF Goodrich, they've always been there. They always want to know, how can we better it? What can we do? We have the engineers calling us now with the Class 1 program saying, okay, what can we do to make this tire better? What do you think? You know, and get the input of Conner. I watch behind the scenes. I pay for helicopter footage every single race so we can watch this and see what this stuff is doing, what the tires and the suspension's doing. It's neat because, you know, BF Goodrich will work with like King Shocks. Well, those kind of got to work together to make a better product. Last race we went to, I called Nate on Saturday, you know, halfway through the day going, hey, we're getting ready to start here. What should we do for tire pressure? He calls the engineer, he comes back with me and says, hey, this is what we need to do. That's really hard to get from a company that big. That's, to me, that shows their support and dedication to their customers in the sport.
The level of competition at the Mint is huge.
The Mint 400 is the Super Bowl of off-road racing.
But to come home with a Mint 400 win that's a special thing. You know, that's everybody's dream. You know, everybody that talks about the Mint 400, they're like, you know, what do you think about it? What do you want to do at the Mint? You know, we want to win the Mint. You know, that's the granddaddy of all the United States, is win the Mint 400.
That's the ultimate goal in life, is win the Mint 400 with my son.